I did say, based on the spoilers, that I was gonna, really dig this episode, but man, just man, if last week's episode was an epic and a brawl, this week's episode, there was, brawling and shit like that, and they was going in, but it was more so on the struggling side, and ultimately, it had more emotion, I felt, to it, because seeing, the bonds, even though we don't really know them like that, Kale and Caulifla or whatever, it was just like, oh. So let's start off with one big thing, because a lot of people, from the moment that we saw Kale go into the Berserk mode and pretty much tank the Kamehameha from Super Saiyan Blue Goku, everybody was saying, yo, this shit character, get out of here, she's too hacked, what's going on here, what is this, you know what I'm saying? So this week, I felt as though it improved a bit more on the character, and her kind of getting into mastering essentially that form, which she still hasn't mastered it because she got really tired, but ultimately taking control of the Berserker true ultra form, whatever the heck you want to call it. I think Caulifla called it ultra form, some shit like that. But anyway, it was really just like, okay, we're changing the character up a bit. She's a bit better now. So for a lot of people that was hating on Kale last week and saying, oh, this shit tier character, oh my gosh, she's way too hacked, whatever, I think this episode helped a bit more to kind of make her less shitty in a way, if you really felt that way. Personally, I've just been enjoying the fucking ride, I ain't gonna lie, it's been hype as hell. But then this week's episode, I mean, Master Roshi. Let's talk about Master Roshi getting his moment, having that motherfucker, like, I was like, yes, and then teaming up with Tien, because you gotta think, Roshi, not the strongest guy, but then again, a lot of these people that are in the Tournament of Power, they're not that strong either, so seeing him teaming up and Tien delivering the blow to get them, like, it was just great to see. They're low-tier DBZ fighters, they're low-tier Z warriors, so to speak, but they're working together and they're getting shit done. So while the Saiyans like Goku and Vegeta and them, they're just off doing their own thing, and Frieza's just out there bodying motherfuckers, it's like we got some of the Z warriors still trying to stick to the strategy that Gohan initially established of like, hey, we gotta work together, you know what I'm saying? And a Roshi moment is always a good moment in my book, period. And just seeing that was like, yes, just fucking yes. Let's talk quickly about the little moment between Vegeta and Frieza. I was like, the in-canon jokes or whatever of just seeing Vegeta telling Frieza to chill and shit like that. I'm like, even though it was on a way of like, hey, I wanted to body him, what are you doing? But seeing Frieza being merciless is like, it's like, honestly, I could see Frieza taking it too far and getting disqualified by killing somebody, because it just looks like Frieza really is just having a good time, but he'll probably have too much of a good time and kill someone and just get disqualified. That's personally what I see going down with Frieza in the Tournament of Power. That's just me or whatever. But let's talk about Goku. Honestly, it is, I don't want to say annoying, but it kind of just feels a little bit like, what the fuck? When it comes to Goku, and every episode since the Tournament of Power started is like, ugh. And what I mean by that is, Goku is having way too much fun. He is having way too much fun with this shit. He's just like not giving a shit. He tried to fight Jiren already a couple times and he just keeps getting blown away because he's just like, he don't care about nothing. He don't care. He just wants to have a good time. Even towards the end of the episode, regardless of what, and maybe you care, and Goku at the end of the day is not a bad guy, this is still a fight for survival of your universe. He should have knocked out Caulifla and Kale. I mean, they could do so much damage. You've seen what Kale did beforehand. You should have taken the opportunity and get rid of them. But Goku is having too much fun to the point where it's like, did you fucking forget that your universe is on the line? Your life, your wife, your kids, like, they're on the line, bro. Take this shit a little bit more serious. I understand, because this is right now heaven for Goku, so to speak. This is just the creme de la creme, paradise, nirvana. Like, the dude is loving it. I wish he would get a little bit more serious, and maybe he will once he gets into the fight with Jiren and Hit, and maybe if Frieza or Frost does something evil, then he'll start putting on his game face, because right now, he's just having too much fun, and it's to the point where it's like, bro, when you gonna get a little serious? The Pride Troopers. A moment of silence for the Pride Troopers. What the like, yo, what was it, 5 of them? 5? The Pride Troopers really ain't all that. Now, minus the 2 that we could definitely say for sure, Jiren and Toppo, that they're on point. The other ones is like, bro, I can almost guarantee that like Goku Black would have soloed them with ease, because they just really weren't that much. You got 18 and 17 just fucking around with them, not giving a shit. Like, the Pride Troopers, honestly, like, which I didn't really expect much from them, they're really ridiculous, and the designs is just kind of like, whatever. I was only really hype about some of the main ones to begin with, so I'm not really bothered by the fact that the Pride Troopers really weren't all that. I mean, they were all that in regards to, like, yeah, they were giving Caulifla and Kale, up until Kale went berserk or whatever, a hard time. So in that regard, okay, but like on a grand scale, majority of the Pride Troopers aren't shit. It's just Jiden and Topo and then a bunch of weaklings, because they got body throws. Like, one of them 18 picked the bitch up and threw her the fuck out. I was like, so not disappointed in the Pride Troopers, because those Pride Troopers in particular, I didn't really expect them to be much anyways, but yeah, they turned out to be kind of gruzzy. They got their shit waxed. But the best moments, obviously, hands down, absolutely, goes to two of my, well, one of them is my favorite new character that's been introduced in the Dragon Ball franchise in many, many years, Caulifla and Kale. It very was reminiscent of, in its own way, of course, the Goku and Gohan moment when you see Caulifla, her arm is fucked up and she's trying to do it, and then Kale comes in. It kind of reminds me of like the father-son Kamehameha, for example. Like, that's really what that gave me. But just seeing the emotion between the two of them, whatever it is, whether they're on some lesbian shit or it's just really some super sister friendship thing or whatever, like, it was still a dope ass moment, and it wasn't an ass pull. Like, had it been, and I don't want to go and tell the series that do that bullshit of like, my friends, blah blah blah, had it been that just Kale out of nowhere, you know, bulked up and we never seen this before, it would have been an ass pull. But we already seen, and it was already established, that Kale on her own is a force to be reckoned with. You know, don't fuck with Kale. So the fact that she actually went again and even mastered it and had like a slimmed down version of it, that was hype as hell. I loved it. And I think they're probably, for the most part, going to do away with the Broly form or the Broly look. I mean, she did do it towards the end of their big blast struggle and shit like that. But I think they're going to mostly stick with that slimmed down form. And maybe the next time we see her, she won't even need to go in that form at all, because they'll say something along the lines of like, oh no, she's gotten strong enough, she don't even need that form anymore. If anything, it slows her down. So I could see something along the lines of that happening. But it was an incredible moment. I absolutely loved it. They didn't really need any help in the end. Well, Caulifla needed Kale, but together they were just bodying it, and that's what I really, really enjoy about Dragon Ball Super. Some of these new characters, like, not all of the new characters are hype. Again, those 5 Pride Troopers, I was like, get them the fuck out of here, they're crusty as fuck. But Caulifla, Kale, now you can have a little bit more of an argument against the hate of Kale, because it's like, bro, she actually mastered her power. She's actually, you know, pretty damn strong. And at the same time, it's like, this is some dope ass shit. I'm kind of curious, though, if the buff form that she's mastered now, if she's still as OP as she was when she was completely berserk. Was the mind state the reason why she was able to tank shit, because she just didn't feel pain because she was in another state of mind? I'm really curious about that, exactly how strong is Kale in that form. But I'm getting rid of those Pride Troopers. That was fucking awesome. I love that moment. And honestly, this episode kicked major ass. Great episode. Great stuff. And when you can do shit where it's like, okay, Caulifla and Kale aren't main characters. They've just been introduced in this arc alone, you know what I'm saying? And still make it somewhat emotional, really awesome. And I actually gave a fuck about what was going on with them, aside from Goku's little antics all around them. That is good shit. So I can do nothing but say how amazing it was. This episode was a great episode, better than last week's episode. I'm giving this episode a 9 out of 10 because it took 2 characters that we just got introduced and did some really awesome shit with it. On top of that, improving on Kale's character, because people really did not like Kale last week after she was doing all that shit. You know, I even made the video explaining what's going on and shit like that, and people were really upset about Kale. So I think this episode helped to improve that situation. Sucks because I don't think we're gonna see them for a while now. I think you know, we're gonna focus on other characters, and I really like the 2 female Super Saiyans, but it is what it is. I mean, they did some good shit for their little, not exit or whatever, because we'll see them again in the tournament, but we won't probably see them for a while. Really curious though what you guys thought about this episode. One big question, because again, the fandom was going crazy. I even made a video about it. What do you think about Kale's character after this episode? Do you feel as though this episode helped to improve her likability, improve on the fact that she's way too fucking OP now that she mastered it? Also, do you think that her and her hulking form being controlled now, she's just as strong as she was when she went absolutely berserk, or maybe she's a bit weaker? And what did you think about the moment between her and Caulifla? Like, that was awesome. I love that shit. You could tell that that's going to be a 110% whatever future game, aside from DBZ Fighters or Dragon Ball Fighters Z, whatever. Like, aside from that game, because I think they're going to do their own thing, I could definitely see that being one big thing in a lot of future Dragon Ball games. Also, what do you think about Roshi's moment? How did you feel about it? I was hyped about it, because it's like, I've been wanting to see Roshi throw down. You know, I'm a big OG Dragon Ball fan to begin with, so seeing him getting a couple hits in and licks in, I was like, yes, 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 yes. And Goku, do you think that he's just really being too much of a clown at this point? Like, it gets to a certain degree borderline, almost annoying, in a sense. It's like, your fucking universe is on the line. I get it, you're busting nuts because this is what you love to do. Take it a little bit more serious, just a wee bit. and your overall thoughts of the episode. Do you think it was better than last week's? And honestly, this is one of my favorite episodes of Tournament of Power. I almost feel as though every week I keep on enjoying it more and more, and that's a great thing. And also on a writing standpoint, it was pretty awesome too. They did a good job, so kudos to that episode. That's all I have for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And Caulifla is still the bae though. Kale, improve, but Caulifla for life.